interesting one here. We've got the scythe and the whip. So we have some punishment, consequences, maybe even somebody like having a bit of a public crash out. Because I think this is somebody who really felt like they were never going to have to um, deal with the consequences or lose something because of what they had done or face some sort of expulsion. This could be somebody who's getting fired. This could be somebody who is like getting kicked out of the band. For some reason, I'm seeing Jack Black in School of Rock. At the beginning of the movie, he gets kicked out of his own band. So this is somebody who is facing those consequences, even though they were pretty certain they never would. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box along with more information on how to become a member and also how to find my homemade soy candles on Etsy if you are interested. Other than that, let's dive right in, shall we? What do we want? We're going to start with the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. Oh, but first, you know what I should probably do? If you are new to the channel, you may not know this, but whenever I draw the whip card, which can talk about punishments, I have a joke that I have to tell. Otherwise, people get mad, like they would probably riot. Are you ready? The whip. No, no, not the whip. The whip. No, no, please, not the whip. The whip. No, no, please, anything but the whip. Anything? The whip. All right, let us proceed, shall we? Hello, Shayla. Hello, Key Controller. What's going on? You haven't heard it yet? Oh, well, now you've heard it. I do think that there is a short that also has the whip, so if you if you care to, you could probably search for it that way as well. But it's interesting because I feel like it hasn't really like happened as much this year as other years. Hello, Catherine. How are you doing? So from the Jack-o'-lantern tarot, we have the King of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands in the reverse, and the Six of Swords. Someone missed the mark. I see someone running away. Or trying to. This could be someone who gets caught, you know, about to board a plane, about to get on a ship. They were hoping to get away, and I feel like they're trying to run away with some money. So I don't know, maybe this is like a robber. Maybe this is someone who stole some jewelry or a fancy painting. But they're gonna actually face consequences, probably legal consequences, right? Hello, Jamaica. How are you doing? Hello, Veer. How are you doing? Hello, Electrica. Did I just say hello to you? I can't remember. Sorry. I might have gotten a little bit of sun. I went to the pool. All right. What else do we have? Ten of Wands. See, this is them like trying to pack up their bags with all the stuff they stole or trying to get out of Dodge without like running into the cops. But we have this Knight of Pentacles. They don't move quick enough. They think that they're going to be able to, you know, like in Star Trek, there's all these times where people are running and they like roll underneath the closing doors. Or, I don't know, other shows similar, right? Where people are just like, everything is fine. No, this person, like, they get caught. You ever get, like, your, I don't know, like your purse strap caught on a doorknob or, like, the sleeve of your shirt, and you're like, I was going places, dang it. Why'd you stop me? This is someone who gets stopped at the last moment. They feel like they have made it where they need to be or that they're about to, and instead they get cut off and apprehended. So we might see the Chariot, which would be law enforcement. But this is someone who has committed some sort of a crime or has stolen something that wasn't theirs specifically, and they're not going to get away with it. Thank you for the sparkles, Sand. I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Craig. How are you doing? Thank you, Jamike. I appreciate it. Hello, Octavius. I hope you're doing all right. Hello, Carrie. How's your day? Yes, I think you are right. Or at least a misdemeanor, depending on where you are. We've got the High Priestess and the Eight of Wands in reverse. This feels to me like we've got somebody who felt like because they'd been able to keep things kind of secret, or they thought they'd kept things secret, that everything was fine. But maybe there was some like silent alarm going off. Maybe there was someone who knew the plans and reported it. But they're walking off like everything has gone to plan, without realizing that they are, in fact, not going to succeed in getting away. So we have the Three of Swords in the reverse, the Ten of Cups in the reverse, and the Three of Wands. Yeah, they're literally about to take some sort of like flight, or they're about to get onto a boat. They want to go far, far away, but they get stopped. And I feel like this Three of Swords in the reverse is somebody getting their money back. There's some balancing of the scales happening. Queen of Swords in the reverse and the Ace of Cups. There's something they said that was off. Something they lied about, and this is why they end up getting caught. They can't keep track of all their lies, I think. So when something that they say conflicts with the rest of reality, I believe that's how they get caught. Hello, Merida. How are you doing today? Hello, actually, how are you doing? I hope for a good reason, Shayla. All right. I don't take this one out too often, but this is the Magicians, Martyrs, and Madmen. We might be dealing with somebody who's wishing that they were a magician, or wishing that they were a little bit more effective. All right, what else do we have? Really? Roger Bolingbroke. Ace of Wands. Hang in the back. Yes. So here's the card for you all. Roger Bolingbroke was an astrolog. Hold on, let me try that again. And I hope I'm saying the name right. Roger Bolingbroke was an astrologer who was renowned in London in the 1440s for the accuracy of his predictions. In late 1440, Bolingbroke was asked by Duchess Eleanor of Gloucester? Like, I know there's a C in this word, but I know you British people like to just, mix it up in here, like Worcestershire sauce. So I'm gonna guess it's Gloucester, but you could tell me if I'm wrong. I can handle it. You see? I think it's Gloucester. To cast a horoscope predicting King Henry VI's future. Ooh. At the time, a horoscope cast for the king, I was gonna say, isn't that treason? Could be considered treason if it revealed a bad omen. Oh, but if it's good, we're happy, no pressure. The horoscope he created for the king indicated that an accident would occur that would cause the king's death, and that as a result of the death, Eleanor's husband would ascend to the throne. The king's council learned of the horoscope and arrested Bolingbroke on charges of necromancy and treason. He was, am I allowed to say that on the YouTubes? I think so. I say the Hanged Man all the time. That's what happened. And then some other things like when you draw someone, but there's an N on it, and then like maybe you have a quarter you want to spend. Before his death, he admitted to going too far in my cunning. That's the ticket right there. We have someone, maybe they are actually capable of doing a little bit of fortune telling, but this is someone who feels like they're able to anticipate what's going to happen. They get a little too big for their britches, perhaps. Too far in my cunning would be, oops. I might have, thought that I was invincible, but the reality is I am not invincible. The Ace of Wands represents creation and the starting point of an enterprise. This is an effect of suddenness inherent in this card, which depicts Bolingbroke's using his powers to summon, a demon spirit. The act of creation and the fire of imagination are closely tied to the suit of wands and the ace in particular. So this is someone who feels like they have an understanding of how things are going to go, but they find out that they are wrong. So I feel like I'm going to make a bunch of money and no one will be able to figure out what happened. Why are you sitting weird there? But the reality is they didn't want to admit that actually this was too big a plot. This was too big of a project for them to pull off. Kind of feels a little bit like one of those Ocean's 11 movies. Just a little bit. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. What do we have from the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot, please? We have the Hierophant, the Two of Wands in the reverse, and Judgment. Someone's getting called back into the principal's office. They might think that they have all their credits lined up and they've graduated, but they're getting told, nope, you didn't actually pass. You shall not pass. Two of Wands in the reverse. Unexpected delays or a block for their escape. Hello, Lee. Thank you, of course. Let me add that for you. I hope you're doing well. What else do we have? But clearly we have someone who thought they were about to get where they wanted. This actually reminds me of, there's like a GIF or a meme where Homer Simpson is on an escalator headed up to heaven, and then it goes, woo, and changes to going down to the other place, not the good place. What else do we have? The Tower and the Knight of Cups. The problem, I don't know if you remember, in that Ace of Wands card where I read from the book, it said that it was only an act of treason if it was a bad omen. I think we have a bit of an echo chamber here. Somebody who may have been warned about the difficulties of what they were trying to pull off, but they might only want to hear the good things. With the Knight of Cups, it's like everything is going to be described or communicated to me with like a little bit of like making it sound a little bit better than it actually is. Like, oh yeah, no, that person that you hit on yesterday, absolutely in love with you. No. I don't think that they were talking negatively about you when they walked away. Like a little bit of fear, because if I say that something isn't going to work out, am I going to get, punished for it? Even though I'm telling the truth. So I think this is someone who is not willing to hear what the actual situation was. They just wanted to be told that they were awesome and everything was going to go in their way. Look, that's a party that's going to end eventually. You can't have that going on forever without running into a wall. So with this Three of Swords and the Star, it's like you were living in a dreamland. You didn't want to actually know what was going on. You didn't want to know if your plan was maybe a bad plan. And that's why we have somebody who gets stopped right before they're getting on a plane. Or someone who gets, I don't know, maybe even extradited. Who knows? But this is a serious situation, and they didn't take it as seriously as they should have. This is someone who thought they were in control. And, Bolingbroke probably felt like, well, I can tell the future, so, like, nothing's gonna surprise me. This is someone who feels like they pull all the strings or they have some sort of control, but they really don't have the control that they think they do. What else? King of Cups in the reverse and the King of Wands. Don't tell me any bad news. I don't want to hear it. Only tell me the good stuff. That's not going to ever like serve its purpose. How are you supposed to know when to bring galoshes or an umbrella if people are always just going to tell you, oh, look, it's going to be like 75 and sunny. Isn't that great? They didn't want to actually accept that there was some risk here. I'm very focused on the moon in the background. So I feel like there's someone here who told the emperor, like, everything's great. You'll be fine. There's nothing to worry about here. I got you. Yeah, no, we could get you from point A to point B. No one will ever know. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? So now we have somebody who, instead of being very capable, they have a limited perspective. So this magician who has the ability to ruin the emperor's day has been able to like swoop in and nobody figured it out beforehand. Why? Because, oh, we can't talk about the negatives. We can only predict the good stuff. So now we have some catastrophe or major upset because we had somebody not really wanting to be aware of what was really going on around them. They just wanted to have the good messages come through, or the compliments, none of the insults or the complaints. A restaurant's never going to improve their product if they only ever accept compliments for the chef, right? How are you supposed to know that your French fries are soggy if you only allow for people to say good things? Soggy French fries. That does sound really bad, actually. I hate those crinkle cut fries because they do tend to get like a little bit mushy. All right, this is the Noisy Tarot. Yeah, it's supposed to be rainy after today. That's why I figured I should go get a little bit of sun. What else do we have? Another magician. So we have this maybe a little bit egotistical emperor. I love that alliteration. They, I think, have stolen something that is not theirs. It could be this is somebody who's embezzled money from a company, or they were trying to take something from an estate, but it wasn't actually willed to them. This is somebody who's finding out there's someone more powerful, there's someone that has a little bit more insight than they expected, and they've been able to put two and two together and figure out what this emperor has done, and they still have power. The emperor has underestimated their opponent, or the ability for someone to figure them out. Hello, Frederick. How are you doing? We have the Seven of Wands in the reverse and the Hermit in the reverse. It's like somebody was willing to say, hey, you should probably tie your shoelaces. If you're running, you're going to eventually like trip if you don't fix that. But oops, I guess I can't say anything about that because you don't want to know if there's a problem. Proceed. I guess I can't tell you. Bazooka, are you watching SpongeBob? SpongeBob SquareFace. Hello, Third Eye. What's going on? Are you having a good one? Thank you for the sparkles, Sand. I appreciate it. So we've got this Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Two of Cups in the reverse. Part of the issue here is this person doesn't seem to have a lot of friends. This is someone who may have stolen from people close to them, or this is someone who seems to just like think about themselves all the time. Hello, Priyanka. How are you doing? Oops. That's all right. At least it was 60 seconds. Umesh's current feelings. And how he sees me. I've added that for you. Thank you, Priyanka. Hello. Hi, sweetie. I hope you're having a good day. Sand, if you'd like to, you can get added to the list by doing a super chat, or you can donate a membership to somebody else. Did you hit the hammer? So with this Two Cups in the reverse, I feel like whoever is our emperor in this story, this is someone who may overestimate how well liked they are, how many friends they have that would provide like a cover up for them or an alibi. They might have stepped on a few people in order to get where they were. I feel like there's someone just like waiting in the wings to be like, no, that person lied. Nah, that person took something that wasn't theirs. Shoot, I don't see nothing. Because they don't want to help this person. The Emperor has a reputation for being selfish and controlling. We have the Fool and the Emperor in the reverse. Do not interrupt your enemy while he's making an error. This Emperor, if they genuinely wanted to be respectful towards others and they wanted to know like the reality of their world around them, I think they would have been able to avoid this problem that they're facing. But instead, they're going to have some punishment or some legal consequences because there are at least a couple people who are like, whatever, I guess that's what happens to you. It looks like you shouldn't have done that. Seems like karma. There's like this, I don't really care because I know you don't care about other people. So I'm not going to help solve this issue for you, or I'm not going to, push you out of the way. You're just going to have to deal with that consequential problem, right? Hello, Sinner. How are you doing? And that's how you feel, and that's fine, but I get to make my own choices. If you would like to be judgmental on how other people choose to live their life, I would invite you to go find a different YouTube channel. But you may find, if you stick around, there's some really cool people in the live chat. And you also might find that if you're less judgmental on how people do their spirituality or religion, that you might have some more, epitomes or self-reflection opportunities. It's important to judge not yet you be judged, right? Hello, DJ. Oops. All right, what else do we have? Six of Swords. This person was trying to escape. Six of Cups in the reverse. And maybe they would have got away with it too if they weren't such a jerk, but there's too many people who are like, yeah, that person probably deserves it. So now whatever it is that they've done, there's no one here willing to have their back, and they get caught. They get sent straight to jail. That's how it is. All right, let's see what we've got from the Fairy Godmother's Oracle. Hello, Tito. How you doing? What else do we have? Fickleness. And awakening. Truthfulness. This feels to me like there is maybe even someone who works for this emperor who cannot stand how critical they've been or how difficult they've been to work with. This person who is close to the emperor but not the emperor and probably has insight into their shenanigans or their choices. This person goes through an awakening and tells the truth. They might even be the one who reports it. Hello, I don't wish to give a name, but I have seen somebody steal 1 million cheese curds, and it's wrong. They can be found at 333 Cheese Street. I think we have somebody who was like, you know what? Maybe I'm going to report that person because I don't really like working for them, or I feel like they only think about themselves. We're just going to report them. Hello, Erin. How are you doing? Not the cheese. You guys, I'm going to be talking about cheese for a little bit because I finally found some fresh cheese curds. Very excited. They're literally from Wisconsin. That's how you know they're really good. Let's get a few from What's the News. What else do we have, please? We have someone who has been demonstrating some pretty irrational behavior. I do think that there is a chance that we have someone who has been leveraging substances in order to get where they need to go or where they think that they need to go. But they're also known for intense emotions. And I feel like in particular, this is anger. Somebody who feels like they should be in charge or get what they want whenever they want it. Hello, Miko. No, the reason I'm so excited is because I'm in Tennessee and I haven't been able to find fresh cheese curds down here forever. And I'm originally from Minnesota. Don't get me wrong, Wisconsin and Minnesota, we don't always get along. But one thing that I will absolutely say is Wisconsin understands cheese. It's okay, Erin. It do be like that sometimes. Hello, Bobs. How are you doing? So we've got bye, Felicia. Peacing out. Thank you, next. Leaving and not caring. I think this emperor was actually walking out on a promise. Maybe I'm going to steal, $10 million. And if you can just then I'll sneak you 1 million and you'll be set. But instead, the emperor was like, I'm just going to take it all. I'm not going to give you anything. And then this sidekick was like, oh, really? Oh, really? Then how about I report you? And then you don't get any of it. I think we have a little backstabby energy. Because you told me that I was going to get something, and then you decide, oops, just kidding, I'm going to change the plan. Now we have somebody who's thinking, okay, I should just do something about this myself. I think we could also have a romantic connection here. So this could be someone who's stealing money and, oh, I'm going to run away and, you're my partner in crime. So of course you get to come along. We had that really like hot weekend once. So I'm going to let you know because we have this kinky ways card. This is the person who reports or makes it easier for this emperor to get caught. Womp, 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 womp. Shouldn't throw everybody on the bus or break your promises, I guess. This is a gamer's ways. Totally fair. Who stole the cheese? It's true. What else do we have? The warlock, a magician. Likely an avid spawn camper, the warlock doesn't have friends. They have minions. They are loyal only to themselves and can be ruthless in ensuring they are victorious in their plots. Spell work may be involved. So we have someone who wants to be a magician, right? We have the magician in the reverse, but they are outsmarted by someone who seems to be a better magician. Character skin. A player has lied about who they are and cast a good old-fashioned illusion spell. The situation has given us erroneous details or possibilities, and it's become overwhelming. Take pause and tune into your intuition. Answers should become clear. So this is somebody who initially was covering for the magician or the emperor. And now we have a real magician who's like, okay, bet. I'm going to make sure everybody knows who you really are or what you did. Because you seem to have decided that you just want to go off on your own now. Solo campaign. A member has left the party. It is a difficult situation and feelings could be raw for multiple players. At these times, remember that the developers set these events in motion for a reason. Look for the lesson. This is someone who is going to learn a real tough lesson, which is if you burn all the bridges around you, you are left on an island. You have nobody to contact if you have issues. You have to solve all the problems that you create for yourself, by yourself. So, yeah. I feel like they get reported by someone that they had a little bit of naked time with. And they might have made some promise like, once I steal all that money, we're going to be rich. I'm going to take you with me. We're going to go and live in Bali. It's going to be great. This is the F-It deck. I can't really say the whole thing. Wow, get over it. I think that's what the Emperor says to their rejected partner, the person they were going to give money to or they were going to travel and escape with. This is somebody who I think is actually quite attractive, or at one time they were seen as attractive. But we might have somebody who, they only want to hear the good things. They might not want to be honest about the fact that their star has fallen. And this rejected partner in crime is determined to get over this by having a little bit of betrayal themselves and turning this person in, getting them caught, basically sending them to jail. Poor Bugs Bunny. Yes. Isn't that what everybody does, Key Controller? Shivers. This is the Kipper. Pathway. It's like they could see the escape or like the exit sign. They were almost there. They could reach out and touch it, and then they get pulled back because they decided to reject this person who had been helping them and promised some part of the money that they had stolen. Now they're getting told on. They thought they could keep everything for themselves. Mature man in the reverse, but they have underestimated their partner in crime. This person who had been a supportive partner, realizing that they are no longer actually working with each other, decides, okay, then I'm going to report you. You thought you could just leave on your own and leave me behind and also not give me any money. Rude. I was looking forward to this like life of luxury that you promised me. So since that's not happening, you can change up the plan, then I think I will change up the plan too. You betray me, I betray you. So now we have somebody who feels like maybe they can still get some of the money. Maybe they can at least get this person in trouble. Maybe they feel like they can get some like reward money because they're getting that expensive art or all of that money back. But this thief is going to get caught. Straight to jail. All right, let's see what we've got for the personal questions. First up, we've got Lee, and then we've got Priyanka. What does Lee need to know, please? What does Lee need to know? What is this, Donnie Darko? We've got the 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, and the 6 of Pentacles. So, Lee, there's something that it's like the plan fails. And with the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse, it's a pretty big disappointment. It could be financial, but I think this is more so someone that you wanted to be able to trust. But with the 6 of Pentacles, I think there's going to be someone who makes it right. So this didn't work out. I couldn't do whatever I said I could, but I'm going to figure it out for you. Because what I'm hearing in my mind is make good, which is a strange term, but I learned it when I was working with advertising. If they're supposed to run an advertisement and then for whatever reason they mess it up, you would call that publication and say, so what's the make good? How you gonna make it up to me, right? Because like I gave you the money, you didn't do the thing you were supposed to do. There is something that is a disappointment that gets rectified. It gets corrected. So don't get too upset. It's going to be figured out or someone is going to make it up to you. 7 of Wands, Page of Wands. May even be better, right? I had someone mess up the order of the bed that I wanted, and instead of getting the one that I had paid for and asked for, I ended up getting like the one that was more expensive. And I was like, oh gosh, that sucks for me. It worked out, right? Hello, Sabrina. How are you doing? Anything else for Lee? Yeah, this ends up being like a little bit of an upgrade, so don't get too upset. Give it a little bit of time and it'll be better. Next up we have Priyanka, and this is the Soul Cat Tarot. Thank you, Shayla. And you as well. Is that a different Priyanka? Or the Priyanka whose reading I'm doing? What else? So we've got Umesh's current feelings. What are Umesh's current feelings for Priyanka, please? Umesh feels guarded with the 9 of Wands. And the 9 of Pentacles. Interesting. Ace of Cups and the Devil in the reverse. This is someone who, again, there seems to be a strong physical attraction or a desire. But this physical attraction isn't necessarily going to lend itself to emotion. But with the Ace of Cups and the Devil in the reverse, I do feel like there's an attempt to make it seem like it is, you know, more emotional. I do feel like if there is not an age gap between, or if you are not younger than Umesh, there is this like perception of you being a little bit naive. Well, I guess even if you are younger. But I feel like you're more perceptive than he gives you credit for. Yeah, justice in the reverse. This is somebody who's a little bit more critical of you than they should be. And I feel like it's kind of like I'm trying to talk myself out of being interested in you. Because Two of Swords in the reverse, I feel like I have to make a decision and stick with it. And if I were to decide to pursue something with you, I would probably regret it. Why? Because something else is not over. Is this person dating someone else? Yes. Four of Wands. So I'm already invested elsewhere, or maybe even like engaged, but I am thinking about what could potentially happen with you anyways. With the Hanged Cat in the reverse, this is somebody who has not learned an important lesson from their past. How does he see Priyanka? Queen of Swords, King of Swords. There's something about your intelligence or the way you approach things that makes Umesh feel like you would be a really good partner. But again, this person is not being fully honest with you about what else is going on or who else they're talking to. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. There's also something here that is not being disclosed as far as finances, and I do feel like there's some judgment here, Priyanka, that he has over your finances, or maybe just like you're not rich enough for me, or I would have to spend too much money on you. There's some issue with regards to money that makes him look at you a little bit differently. Hermit in the reverse. I do feel like it's an unfair judgment of your perceptiveness, or it's like in the same breath, I see you as intelligent, you know what to do, and I admire you, but I'm also going to be overly critical of you. Okay. So a little bit back and forth, or inconsistent. Knight of Wands and the Ten of Swords in the reverse. And this seems to always roll back to I don't want to like actually get feelings for you or pursue something serious. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing? Did someone explain gaslighting? Yes, exactly. All right. I am going to leave it there. Thank you everyone for the likes and the subscribes. If you are interested, why am I doing that? I will be back for another one. I'm excited because I'm going to go eat some cheese curds too. Sorry, guys. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping. Steven, I hope your day gets better, and I will see you on the next one.